prediction markets.
Prediction markets have exploded.
It's so entertaining.
Platforms like Polymarket.
Polymarket.
If you had me saying potato on Polymarket, you just made a ton of money.
All right, let me do this.
A few weeks ago, Polymarket reached out to More Perfect Union, wanting to collaborate. Specifically, they wanted us to integrate their odds into our reporting to give you new insights into the issues that we cover. So naturally, before diving into a partnership, we had to do our due diligence and look a little closer at their business model and the big claims that Polymarket's CEO likes to make.
The thing that drives me is that there are billions of people who could find value in this. A diverse group of market participants is more accurate than any given expert. It's the most accurate thing we have as mankind right now, until someone else creates some sort of super crystal ball.
xQc, their biggest competitor, makes similar grand claims.
It actually enhances democracy in a way. It increases voter engagement.
It's actually the best mechanism to get more truth about who's actually going to win.
You might see ads from them about how you'll make rent trading on their platform, or how you can quit your part-time job.
What?
Looking at how these companies pitch themselves closely is really important, because the thing is, prediction markets don't just exist in a void. They're deeply related to the larger structural problems in our economy right now, at a time when every day has a new...
Actually, no, it's fucking. Actually, yo, I know the video. I'm just watching it. She said it's being fucking annoying for no reason at all. Like, what the fuck? What reason? It's interesting.
New political or economic
crisis,
crisis,
just for that, I'm watching it.
From multiple foreign conflicts, domestic unrest, sweeping layoffs supposedly due to AI, massive budget cuts to social welfare programs, and the crippling of the American retirement, Polymarket and xQc are seemingly offering working class people a solution. You can regain control of the chaos, get an inside edge on our rigged economy, and stand to make tons of money. But is that true? We dug into their marketing tactics, talked to experts, and went to their grocery store to ask, will prediction markets give working people more power?
The long-term vision is to financialize everything and create a tradable asset out of any difference in opinion.
Or by financializing everything, are they recreating the worst aspects of the system they claim to be fighting?
I think it's wrong, personally.
To get a better idea of what Polymarket is all about, we went to a recent project of theirs that we could get behind. A totally free grocery store in New York City.
Do you know about prediction markets?
Nah, I don't know nothing about that.
I'm familiar with it, but I wouldn't say I know it fully in depth.
I've heard some tell about them. They hedge against whether you win or lose. Yeah, I don't actually like that.
They're doing good.
They're doing good. Like, everything's expensive in New York. It's good to have something like this.
So my question is, why is Polymarket trying to impress working class people with these marketing stunts? We'll get back to that later. But to get some basic definitions down, we reached out to an expert.
Chat, if they only allow the bigger markets and markets that have like some things that are like very hard to trick or to manipulate, sure. But a lot of these things, I mean, are markets that are absolutely manipulatable. Most of them are, the small ones.
Gauker is a seasoned journalist, an expert on the gambling industry, and writes a newsletter specifically on prediction markets.
That's the problem with it.
So we sat down to talk.
A prediction market is where you trade on outcomes of events in the real world, yes or no. Simple as that. Where you can bet on who's going to win an election. Is it Kamala Harris or is it Donald Trump? Who's going to win tonight's basketball game, the Lakers or the Knicks? It is that times 1,000, anything that could happen. Will there be more than 12 inches of snow in New York tomorrow? xQc, for instance, all contracts are $1. If something is 50-50, you're buying a contract for 50 cents. Somebody is buying the other side of your contract for 50 cents. At the end, one of you gets $1.
The idea here is that the current market price is the probability the event will happen.
In the final month of the campaign, most pollsters were saying the race was too close to call. But that was conventional wisdom. Polymarket relied on the wisdom of crowds and correctly predicted the outcome.
In theory, the financial incentives here force people to be honest. If you're wrong, you lose money, so you better be right.
Well,
this is supposed to be the ultimate filter, signal from noise, the truth machine. With enough people taking part in these bets, with enough liquidity, you get more accuracy. There's no house in this transaction, as prediction market companies are really fond of reminding us. They don't care if you win or lose, unlike sports books. They're just facilitating the transaction. It's matching. Sounds almost friendly,
Chat,
but
that's how
there's a
sportsbook
catch to all
works.
this. For these markets to be truth machines, to get the most accurate predictions, they actually kind of need insider trading. Take a look at this market, for example. What will happen before the video game Grand Theft Auto 6 is released? A lot of people know the answer to these questions. People who work on Drake or Rihanna's teams, or who work for their record labels. Maybe you work at OpenAI and you know the release date for GPT-6. You should probably place a big bet and get some money for that knowledge.
And
the markets are meant to price the probability of the event, so they incentivize people who have high conviction, people who have insider information, to come collect their bounty by placing big bets on sure things. Placing these bets pushes the market probability in the right direction, making the prediction market more accurate because you know the answer. But it also means, in a lot of cases, these markets are inherently unfair.
There's been advocates, including...
You push the market, but by also shoveling the money that the people that don't know in your pockets.
Polymarket CEO that insider information gets us to the truth or gets us to more accurate probabilities. And honestly, not wrong. If that's the goal of a prediction market, you actually want insiders trading into it.
This is Dr. Robin Hanson, seen by many as the godfather of modern prediction markets, held up by the Polymarket CEO as the expert.
In a prediction market, there aren't investors, it's a betting market. We create the prediction market in order to learn things about the company. If the main purpose is to get more accurate prices, then basically we want as many insiders as we could. Insiders is great, please. Insider trading, it's just not really an issue for prediction markets.
Now, prediction markets would respond to this criticism in a few ways. Kalshi says they're rolling out new tools to find insiders. They require ID verification to trade now. Polymarket recently rolled out their own new insider trading rules months later. But the simple fact is they can't possibly police all the traffic that they're getting.
The Oscars, Rotten Tomatoes scores for movies, how many streams...
But they can, though, by just not allowing a bunch of random dog shit markets. How is this hard to understand?
Spotify. Like, surveillance will catch a large bet that's abnormal, right? But the whole universe of people who has this information, across all of these markets, is in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Yes, they know who you are, but can they definitively say this is insider trading? Or can somebody who works at Spotify just tell a friend, hey, look, I know who's...
If 100,000 people want a certain market and they appear and they regulate it, that's a market is okay, right? But if only a few people want some market and then they're all insider traders and then they do this like predatory bullshit, then it's not okay.
Had the most streams today. How are you going to catch that?
And there's another problem here. What even is an insider in the case of a global event? Senator Chris Murphy has had his eyes on prediction market insider trading, so we sat down to talk about it.
So when you go on Polymarket or Kalshi, you assume there's some system in place that is assuring that the bet you are making is not rigged. But all of the bets on government action are rigged because somebody in government knows the outcome. Many of the other bets are rigged as well because there's a handful of very powerful people who know the answer to that question and are pushing the markets in one direction.
His stance was that these rigged markets, ones where thousands of people know the outcomes, shouldn't be traded at all. And honestly, it's pretty hard to disagree with that.
If it's a rigged market,
okay.
If somebody knows...
You know, I agree with that. I mean, chat, think about the people that know about certain stocks in companies and how many people they have relatives and how many people they have friends with or people at their house that are just hanging out and they divulge information that will directly affect the market. And these are all fucking also rigging the main markets, and it's been doing it for decades.
Knows the outcome ahead of time. You can't offer a bet on it. That seems pretty simple.
Even defining an insider in this context seems impossible. I mean, what about this guy who sat outside the Super Bowl rehearsals with a listening device so he could time how long the national anthem would be before betting on prediction markets? Is he an insider?
That's illegal.
I mean, I know he's literally outside of the stadium, but in this case, he had information that the public didn't have. And we can't even solve insider trading in traditional financial markets where people have been trading for decades. Oil traders made millions just hours ahead of an Iran announcement from President Trump in traditional financial markets. Why should we believe that a couple of tech bro startups have solved the problem that no one else could?
You know, let's take, for instance, a bet on what I'm going to say in this interview. We're taping it. There's a whole bunch of people in the room right now. They all know
that's what
what I
That's
said.
what I just said.
They're going to go out and tell a whole bunch of other people what I said.
All true.
There's going to be, by the end of today, 100 potential people who can bet on that market knowing they're going to make money. Restricting me and me alone from making that bet is pointless. You should be restricted from making that bet. Everybody in this room should be restricted from making that bet.
True.
But that exercise of deciding who has inside information and who doesn't, that's like, it's fruitless. You're never going to be able to track down everybody that heard what I said in this interview.
Okay, so setting aside the insider trading mess, here's the real kicker. Prediction markets aren't even as accurate as they advertise.
The most interesting example recently is the February jobs report. They forecasted 60,000 jobs would be added in February. Guess what? Job report was down. They weren't even close. There was like a delta of 150,000 jobs.
Take a look at this recent study out of Vanderbilt University that looked at prediction markets in the 2024 election.
Jesus.
While 93% of predicted markets correctly predicted outcomes better than chance, accuracy fell to 78% on Kalshi and 67% on Polymarket. So the Polymarket CEO was on 60 Minutes taking a victory lap, and the markets on his platform were barely better than a coin flip. So these markets aren't all that accurate, and the core of the business model depends on insiders to help finding the truth. Who is winning here, and more importantly, who's losing?
I mean, who's losing? Everybody's losing.
If history has taught us anything, it's not to root against the underdog.
Kalshi!
Where your voice becomes a position.
These are deeply uncertain economic times, so it's tempting to turn to platforms like prediction markets as a way to get ahead. For a lot of young people, it can feel like prediction markets are offering a means of success when the traditional paths have been denied to them. You can see that idea constantly in how these companies describe their markets. These are investments, they're event contracts, used for hedging risk. It's the democratization of finance. You can see it in how they talk about information. They're the future of news. They're covering all the breaking information. They're monitoring the situation for you. And you
most people know it's a scam. They just want to be on the right side of the scam, let's be honest.
can see it in how they advertise themselves.
And with NFTs,
It's like a way to monetize your knowledge, same way like an Uber driver monetizes.
the only people that liked them and wanted NFTs and are born NFTs were only in it because they knew it was garbage. They're peddling to somebody else, and they're preying on somebody else's money.
Free time by driving. If you have extra knowledge and read news, you can monetize it and speculate, and it's okay.
I think this is the most pernicious part of prediction markets. The slick ads, the financial phrases, the PR stunts. It's all meant to take advantage of your economic anxieties. But hey, you know what? Some people will get paid for this. How many people exactly? Well, one analysis showed that 0.04% of traders were capturing nearly 70% of the profits.
I mean,
doesn't exactly sound like the democratization of finance as we know it. For the other 99.96%,
a bunch of bots too.
It's the same thing every day.
Although the botting is crazy. The shit that I'm not even gonna say what the bots do. Some of the shit that they do is just
I end up
so
winning
easy
4 or
and
5
like
bets.
I
And
don't
once
know
I
if
build
it's legal.
my value, I make one bet that changes it all back to the beginning.
I have lost like $25,000 on sports betting. How do I fix this?
Long story short, I had an unexpected financial emergency and I'm really short rent money and really desperate. Does anyone have a low money, under $20 high payoff bet with a strong chance bet I can tail? Thanks.
I started pretty irresponsibly, and so here I am at minus 14.
If you go to these Reddits, you're gonna see dog shit. I mean, bro, come on, bro. Bro, Wall Street bet's not any better. People are betting their fucking house and their grandma's like death fund on the stupidest shit you could ever see. Like, come on, bro. Okay.
But I'm confident if I stay disciplined, I'll make it out.
this is shockingly common.
A lot of the work is about how to, if people come trade a specific event, how to get them to trade on other events, and how do we cross-sell them, and how do they basically come back, and how do we make sure that they stay engaged.
These people are donating liquidity, adding money to the markets for insiders and professionals to collect their bounty. Because no matter how much they use the term investment, it turns out
they're mostly being used to gamble. So people can gamble on things, whether it's sports. And again, mostly it's sports, at least in the US.
How much of it is sports?
85 to 90% right now. Kalshi is the leader in the U.S. At Polymarket, it's different. It's more like 40% is sports and 60% is the everything else. But it's just people gambling.
Take a look at the front page of Kalshi on any given day. It's basically all you'll see, sports. And when it's not sports, the other 10% seems to also be gambling. Some people are betting on whether or not the price of Bitcoin will go up or down every 15 minutes. You can bet on whether or not Clavicular will be the next Ayatollah of Iran. They might call them event contracts, but if you're betting on the Super Bowl coin toss, you aren't investing, you're gambling. But don't just take it from me. Look at this early ad Kalshi used to run. Sports betting is legal in all 50 states. It's not, by the way. Kalshi is now offering a $1 billion prize if you predict a perfect March Madness bracket. And the way that CEO Tariq Mansour promoted it is...
Nobody's getting paid out there's no reality, even all alternate realities, where that bet would be paid out.
One of the most blatant examples of their direct appeal to working people. 90 minutes left to attempt generational wealth. That's the CEO of an online casino saying you owe it to your grandchildren to place bets at a time when Americans are making early withdrawals from their retirement accounts at record rates. Again, prediction markets are occupying this very strange position in the economy where the message seems to be you will own nothing, save nothing, and gamble everything. So given that these markets are obviously gambling, why are they so interested in pretending that it's not?
What? Well, because they're making money out of it. What?
Historically, every time there's truly groundbreaking financial innovation, it has been called gambling.
Well, first of all, they don't want you to know
oh my God,
how much
I'm gonna lose my mind.
One report from a citizen...
Who is this guy? What is he saying?
Bank analyst showed that prediction market traders actually lost more than they would have on traditional sports books in the first 3 months. And for this story, I talked to prediction market...
The more you think that you're gonna hit, the more likely you are to place those bets. Of course it's gonna be higher. These bets look at their wins and they're manipulated to look like they're going into fucking straight dog shit.
Traders, journalists, experts on gambling and public health. And here's what I heard from all of these people consistently. We are in the middle of a gambling public health crisis. And this crisis is hitting young men particularly badly. We've taken
I'm not inventing gambling. I always invented gambling because I think I want to gamble. I should gamble. Like is what is it? My only problem with everything was just demonizing a stake. Like it's
very addictive.
Like it's this out of the world fucking. And when everything, if you were to have this energy, all of this is dog shit. Nobody gives a fuck about any of the newer ones or the ones that are on Twitch. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's energy is anywhere. Nobody talks about it. Nobody declares it. Nobody tries to go. Nobody crusades. Nobody rallies together. Nobody actually tweets about it. And it's just causing damage in the shadows. And it's just, I find the hypocrisy to be fucking insane.
Behavior, and we've put it in the hands of everyone, everywhere, all the time. You don't have to make a trip to your bookie or to the casino. Place a bet on the game, any game, no restrictions. The casino is in your pocket. On prediction markets, the age of participation is 18 instead of 21. So get started even earlier. When you combine the addictiveness of these platforms, the availability, and the uncertain economic times, you get a potent combination. And being part of this wave of gambling crashing over young Americans, profiting from their suffering, it's not a good look. Which is why you'll notice that they're very careful with their language. It's why they've mostly stopped running ads using the word betting. It's why they shut down their short-lived Kalshi U program to partner with college kids and make campus clubs. It's bad PR. Kalshi in particular is being taken to court in multiple class action lawsuits. This one claims that Kalshi deceives sports bettors by pretending to not offer gambling. They even point out that all that no house stuff they're always talking about isn't strictly true. Sometimes Kalshi, the company, is the one on the other side of the event contract. Meaning they collect the full winnings if you lose.
Okay, whoa.
So I guess there is a house after all. But beyond the massive harms to our public health, the difference between the words investing and gambling is a difference of billions of dollars.
If I'm Tariq Mansour, why do I absolutely want to be regulated by the CFTC and not by, say, the New York State Gambling Commission?
Well, that's a no-brainer because you don't pay taxes to the state. The CFTC just exists to like, here, you can do markets.
No, I'm just saying, those things that were written were things that they're just saying. I mean, it's one side of the lawsuit or whatever, but it doesn't mean that it's true because it's written in the fucking in a document. I mean, all I'm saying is, like, I think that was a pretty far-reach accusation.
There's regulation around that, but if you're a state-regulated sportsbook in New York, you're paying a 51% tax. You have to pay a licensing fee to offer a sportsbook in that state, and then multiply that by every state that has sports betting that's been legalized. Regulated sportsbooks have to do something on problem gambling. They have to provide a number that people, if they want to get help, they can get help, tools to help them if they are in trouble.
If the prediction markets are regulated federally by the CFTC, they get to dodge all of this. No high taxes, no onerous regulations, no restrictions on...
The only reason why I thought the hypocrisy was a problem is that Stake is the most compliant of all. There's a list out there that has all the compliance and the rules, whatever, and Stake is all green across the board, and a lot of the shit that's allowed, they don't give a shit. It's all red. All red.
Now, Kalshi is being sued by over a dozen states, most of them saying, hey, this is clearly gambling, and you need to abide by our state laws, get a license, and provide protections. But the CFTC chairman is coming out in prediction markets' defense.
Today, the CFTC is taking an important step to ensure that these markets have a place here in America. To those who seek to challenge our authority in this space, we will see you in court.
And I'm sure this has nothing to do with the fact that Donald Trump Jr. is a strategic advisor to both Kalshi and Polymarket. Earlier in this story, we talked about the potential utility of prediction markets. And I want to be clear, I do think that's real. I think they do have the potential to aggregate information in a novel and useful way. But currently, it's...
I'm against the thing. I don't think it matters, all these components. I don't give a shit. I'm just against it. It doesn't add anything on top of it. I mean, you would have... Wait. What is the thing that they're talking about? Are they saying that, oh, dude, because they're betting on the political shit, whatever? Bro, these markets are so small.
Seems to just be
not making shit money
potential,
on that.
not reality.
There's so much money.
Currently, it's gambling, sports betting on war, and exploitation of economic anxieties. Products and companies should be evaluated on what they do the majority of the time, not what their potential is. So let me put it to you this way. Imagine I've made a machine with a big red button. When you press the button...
Chat, I'll play the Rocket League tournament they want to play. Is it right now? When is it at?
9 times out of 10, this machine punches you directly in the face. 1 out of 10 times, it feeds you a cookie. Have I made a nice cookie machine? Or is this just a machine that punches you in the face? This is the reality of prediction markets.
So, let's get back to that Instagram DM that started this whole thing. As we were wrapping up our piece, we started to see more reporting on prediction markets that told us something important. We're actually just one outlet that they reached out to. These companies now have entire networks of paid influencers and social media boosters. They even reach out specifically to young female influencers to attract more women to the industry. And they're courting powerful players from both parties to help them open doors in Washington. This is clearly all part of their broader strategy. These PR stunts, the free grocery store, the influencer networks, all just make it easier for them to prey on economically vulnerable working people. That's why some people, like AOC, have called for advertising bans, modeled off tobacco regulations. Prediction markets are clearly, obviously gambling, and they should be regulated at the state level by the proper authorities, the ones who will actually hold them accountable, make them provide reasonable protections, change the way they advertise, and who they can put their online casinos in the hands of. And beyond that, some type of markets, they probably shouldn't exist at all, as Senator Chris...
I don't give a fuck about all these politicians LARPing as whatever. Brother, these guys' stocks always fucking go hard. These guys always predict the market properly. Of course, they're mad about this fucking small gamba shit with small markets that are like 10K a pop when they make fucking $3 million a year on 150K salaries. Like, bro, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, I'm not listening to this shit. These people are fucking going fucking yacht mode on a fucking everyday man fucking salary. What a joke. Fuck that. Fuck you. Just suck my balls. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, sorry. I'll do a tournament and then do something else.
Chris Murphy proposed. The cost of financializing everything can be seen in this one quote from the Kalshi subreddit.
Took a loan of $2,000, had $1,000 to my name.
You cannot write the word. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Troll aware anyway.
xQcL. Loan. Bro, come on.
Went all in, had a pretty good 5 days run, lost everything. What should I do? Rent, phone bill, everything is coming in a few days. I tried taking the risk to move my mom out and make her proud, but I have failed her and myself. Please give me some advice.
Chub. Don't voluntarily go into those predatory markets hoping to make money with the only intention with money that you don't have, that you can't lose. Be a responsible adult and create actual income for yourself, and don't take risk on your mother's health. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing?